For the Jets. They have played Central Georgia twice in Macon, lost both. For the last game, only by 2. They certainly have narrowed the gap and trying to make it 1 out of 3. These teams on the ladies' side of the GCAA meet one another 3 times during the course of the season. It's the last meeting, at least in regular season play, for the Titans. Jets, Titans. Hi, everybody. Robert Williamson set to bring you the coverage. Let's look at who will be on the floor first for both. And for Central Georgia Tech, there you see the starting 5 of the 2 Johnsons. Finch, Linyard, and Hutchins leading the charge is India Johnson. She is averaging better than 11 points a ball game. And when you look at Haley Johnson, you're looking at the number 3 shooter in the conference as far as percentages from the floor. South Georgia Tech getting to look familiar. These are the 5 that we see frequently on the floor. You've got Bueno, Carollo, Gunington, Sicano, and Papin. And the ladies are there at the mid part of the floor. You got the tip, and you got your ball game underway as it is controlled by South Georgia Tech. Bueno with it out front, gives over to Gunington. Gunington looking to have a big game today. Struggled a little bit against Central Georgia Tech. Sicano off the glass in the first couple of points in this one, belonging to the Jets. So welcome into the hangar. Jets coming in with a mark of 3-4 in the conference, 10-9 overall. And certainly not out of the picture if you lose this one to Central Georgia Tech. But it would go a long way towards restoring confidence as that is thrown away, and some upward mobility for the Jets if they were to be able to knock off one of the top 2 teams in the conference. Of course, East Georgia all alone atop the standings with an unbeaten mark. Bueno bringing it down low, kisses it off the window. There's a blocking foul, and Bueno has a chance for 3. Reminder at halftime, we will talk with Jason Carpenter, head coach of South Georgia Tech. As Bueno will head to the stripe, she is a 73% free throw shooter. $10 points a contest, 1 of 4, averaging double digits a ball game for South Georgia Tech, who has jumped out with a 5-zip lead early in this one. This one the only game, or games if you will, as the 3 ball is launched by Johnson, rebounded by Carollo. Originally had Baton Rouge and Coastal Alabama South on the schedule, but they are still working on getting that gym completely renovated. And it's not yet. So until it is, we won't have any of their stuff for you. They're hoping to have it completed this week. Of course, they were hoping to have it ready to roll by the 1st of August. And here we are nearing February and still awaiting that new facility. Out of bounds off of a jet. It'll be brought in from the near sidelines. Johnson with a miss off Carollo. That is Haley Johnson trying to get the punting. Can't. Carollo's got it. Flips it over to Sicano. And we're a couple of minutes in. Gunington for the corner. 3 ball off the mark. Rebounded by Linyard. But a little better than 2 minutes in, and still got the Titans looking for their first points of the game. High off the glass, wouldn't drop for Linyard. Carollo make that Sicano with it. Over to Gunington, a little bit too strong. And Gunington with an 0 for 2 start. As I mentioned, she had struggled a little bit in prior games. Last time these 2 teams met, 3 of 13 from the floor, and then the first meeting between the two, 2 of 13. Nobody more aware of that, though, than Gooney did. Over it goes to Linyard. Down low, Johnson. Got away from her. Bueno's got it. And then it will roll out of bounds off Bueno. So the Titans maintain possession. 2-possession lead early as Johnson puts it in play. Linyard picking up the dribble. Over to Johnson, back out in front to Hutchins. Johnson, time running out on the shot clock. Hutchins putting up the desperation three, off the mark, rebounded by Sicano. Over to Bueno and then to Papin. Takes it to the glass, drops it in. 7-zip Jets early lead. By the way, we have now set it up to where you exclusively watch JockJive on YouTube. So that means, too, you can click your YouTube app on your smart TV. Sicano off the window. Jets by 9 to begin the game. Just about an air ball. Did just barely nibble the rim for Fitch. Into the ball game to Mia Gaddis for the Titans. And Meva Fatsa coming in for the Jets. Carollo will exit the game for South Georgia Tech. Coming out of the contest is Fitch for Central Georgia Tech. And the Jets trying to pull out in front by double digits before a point is ever scored by the Titans, and they will. Three ball from Linyard, misses the mark. Fatsa with the rebound over to Bueno. Kicks it to Goonington. Back out front, Sicano, and then handed to Bueno. Good start for the Jets. Goonington off on the three from the top of the key. Bueno's got it. Back over to Goonington. Into the corner, Papin. And she will, one of a couple of possibilities, travel or double dribble. Either way, Titans get it. And we are halfway to quarter number 2. And Jets have all the points. Got a walk on the part of Stantagius Alford. And that'll bring us to the media timeout. Jets got to be pretty pleased with the start of this one. Up by 11.
To South Georgia Technical College, where we make it happen.
Whether your dream is to become a welder, a nurse, a restaurant owner, electrician, or aircraft mechanic, South Georgia Technical College can help you make it happen. SGTC has over 200 associate degree, diploma, and technical certificate of credit programs of study available. Visit our website at southgatech.edu for more information or to apply, or call 800-928-0283.
So what are you waiting for? Let's make it happen.
And there is Dr. John Watford and his wife Barbara, and I'm sure, South Georgia Tech fan, watching the game from their spot in the stands. I mean, it's not marked as their spot, but if nobody's got it, when he gets here, he gets it. And he's got to be pretty pleased with the start in this one. Jets by 11. Sicano walking it down. So if you can score 11 and the other team nothing, going into every media break, you're going to be setting some records. Out of bounds off the Jets. Titans keep it. First of a couple of games, Gooning into the sidelines. Back into the ball game is Corolla. And, of course, the second game of the day is the men of South Georgia Tech and the men of Central Georgia Tech. By the way, I mentioned that you are watching us now on YouTube exclusively. Have I mentioned that we would love to have you as a subscriber to our YouTube channel? Gives you more than just basketball, more than just South Georgia Tech when you subscribe. So check it out. Talking Sports with Colin Big C. McGuire every weekday morning at 8. Bueno over to Corolla. And is blocked, able to get a piece of it, was Gaddis. And you got a foul on Corolla. Titans in possession. And Colin last week had Marty Lyons on his show. This week he'll have Jeremiah Castile. So yeah, he's talking with some of the big dogs. Over to Gaddis, puts up the three. Looked online, but just a little bit strong. Tracked down by Linyard. Over to Hutchins, back to Linyard. Into the paint. Got the look, got the shot. First field goal for the Titans comes at the 3:41 mark. Papin into the corner to Sicano. Back out front to Papin. Hands it to Bueno. Well, the only football left, NFL. Couple of games tomorrow to determine who's in the Super Bowl. There's a super play. Fatsa, the assist to Bueno. Lead back to 11. 3-ball dropped in by Hutchins. They're calling it a long two. Said the toes were on the arc. Bueno top of the key. Working in right side, brings it down low, off the window, tipped out of bounds by Alford. Destiny Bishop checking into the lineup. She has appeared in 14 games this year. Goonington coming back in, and Sicano and Papin will get their first breather. So Bueno is the only starter yet to come off the floor for the Jets. Goonington near the timeline. Fatsa trying to save it in the corner. And it'll go out of bounds. Titans will have it. Obviously, the Jets not comfortable. I mean, it's way too early to get comfortable. Heck, a 9-point lead with a couple of minutes to play in this game is not a particularly comfortable lead. So a 9-point lead with 2 minutes to play in the first quarter means you're nowhere near the comfort zone. Hutchins walking across the mid part of the floor. Off the glass, Fatsa with a board. Top rebounder on the team and number 2 in the conference. Excellent ball movement to Goonington. And Goonington with her first 2 of the game, the lead back to 11. Number Linyard, Bishop defending. Off 2 sides of the rim and drops in. Sicano top side, handoff goes to Goonington. Thought about the 3, lost the dribble, tipped away by Hutchins, then slapped out of bounds by Hutchins. Central Georgia Tech 5-1. South Georgia Tech 3-4 in the conference. Everybody right now chasing East Georgia. They are unbeaten at 5-0. Carollo for three. Off the rim. And that'll be off of Goonington and out of bounds. 1:04 to play in the opening quarter. Over to Lenyard, back to Hutchins, shoots the three, line drive, no good. Lenyard's got it. Johnson over to Gaddis. Back out front, it goes to Johnson. Off the rim with the three try. Lenyard reaching over Bishop. Got the rebound, couldn't get the putback. Fatsa with it. Into the corner, Goonington left open for the three. Just a little bit strong. Fatsa with a board, off the rim. Window and two, and Fatsa will go to the stripe after getting fouled. Alford picking up the foul. That'll be her first. Bishop coming out of the game, and Papin checking in. Lead back to 11, a chance for Fatsa. A 70% free throw shooter to extend it to 12, and she will. Down to Alford. Left-handed shot no good, and Fatsa couldn't hang on. Had it, lost it out of bounds. I think she was thinking about what she would do in the limited amount of time left in the quarter before she actually had possession of the basketball. Jessica Kalani in, and Fatsa will go out of the ball game. Johnson off on the three, Papin with it. And that'll bring the opening quarter to a close. Big one for the Jets, leading it by 12.
You've played some travel ball, you've shared the videos. Mom and Dad can only root so much. It's time to get real interest from the colleges and scouts in your area, right where you live. That's why the Showcase Series is different. We're not just another tournament, we're an advancement event where you get real-time exposure with live TV coverage of our games that get you seen directly by the coaches you want to impress from anywhere in the world. Register for events at showcaseseries.org. It's your turn at bat.
Got fans of all ages in the stands here with the Hangar in Americas. And welcome aboard. Big quarter for the Jets. Mentioned this is a big game for South Georgia Tech, and they like how they started. Win quarter number one. And you can win a single quarter and win the game if the rest of the quarters are, a little less than 12 combined. So we shall see. This is a Central Georgia Tech squad, by the way. It's not 5-1 by happenstance, as that'll go out of bounds. And it is last off a Titan. So they're not just going to, fold up the tent and call it a day. Down low to Kalani, and Kalani can't hang on to the pass. A 6-point opening stanza. Jason Carpenter, head coach and AD at South Georgia Tech. Our halftime guest That is out of bounds off of Ania Barron. And also in the half, we'll check out some halftime stats for you. Back over to Bueno, left open for the three. It's in and out. Alford with the rebound. And she will lose it out of bounds, but apparently got the fingertips of either Bueno or Carollo on the way out. And it will stay Central Georgia Tech basketball. These teams met on the 20th of January, just a few days ago. Titans won that one 67-65. Sakano with the rebound. Also on the 10th of January, Papin from the elbow. Johnson able to track it down. And on the 10th of January, it was a 15-point win for Central Georgia Tech. 74-59, but those two were played in Macon. Probably the only meeting of the year this year that will be in Americus. Now these two teams could meet again in quarter, semi, or championship play, always a possibility. And still could be here, but chances aren't at the moment real good. Papin make that Goonington dropping in the two. But still a long way to go. Everybody's playing everybody three times. So I don't know that anybody at the moment is finished with everybody else. Alford misses, Kalani rebounds. Now today these two teams finished in regular season. Sakano coming up short. Hutchins sending it to Alford. Alford short on the two try. Kalani handing it over to Bueno to Sakano. Whips it over to Papin. Missed the bunny and upset with herself. Timeout on the floor. Asked for by the Titans. It took them more than 5 minutes of the first quarter to score. We are nearly 3 minutes into the second. And Titans scoreless. And Antonio Harris says, ladies, let's talk.
To South Georgia Technical College, where we make it happen.
Whether your dream is to become a welder, a nurse, a restaurant owner, electrician, or aircraft mechanic, South Georgia Technical College can help you make it happen. SGTC has over 200 associate degree, diploma, and technical certificate of credit programs of study available. Visit our website at southgatech.edu for more information or to apply, or call 800-928-0283.
So what are you waiting for? Let's make it happen.
Well, I would say there is a happy camper. Michigan winning the football national championship. I wonder if she is as happy today, though, as she was, about a week or so back, now that Jim Harbaugh has moved on to San Diego in the NFL. Of course, she may be happier. Coach Moore, who is the interim for 4 games in the regular season and went 4-0, has already proven he's a pretty good coach. Shot missed by Sarah Garcia, who is now in for the Titans. Sakano flipping it over to Goonington. Over to Fatsa, and she'll lean in. Rebounded by Barron. Is it just me, or do you get the impression that Jim Harbaugh, isn't the most sparkling of personalities? May not have a lot of, non-football friends. That's just an observation, and it's got nothing behind it. Heck, I don't even know the guy. He may be awesome. Just kind of his persona. Corolla with a miss. Rebounded by Garcia. Hutchins directing a little traffic, sending Johnson from one side of the floor to the other. Over to Alford, puts it up from the elbow. It is no good, but Hutchins able to grab it. Kicks it to Johnson, shoots the long two, and it's a 20-10 game. Into the ball game is Maria Favero, and she was looking for somebody to throw it back into, and there was nobody wearing a white jersey on her end of the floor. Lenyard back into the game. Kamaya Epps coming in. Alford is out, and Garcia will exit. Sakano leaving the game. And I believe it is Fatsa who has come back in. Lead has been as much as 12, currently 10. Hutchins sending it down low. Corolla read the pass coming. Favero with a steal over to Goonington. Kicks it high off the window, drew the foul. And now you got a technical mixed in. Hutchins, just a little extra shove on Goonington. And I tell you, if it was anybody else, you might say, well, she was just retaliating. Goonington is such a nice girl. I mean, of course, hey, she may have you fooled too, right? But I don't think so. Typically not one to get in your face and try to evoke emotions. But got an extra push from Hutchins, and Hutchins guilty of the foul. Goonington, a 75% free throw shooter. And I think the question over at the scorers table was, wasn't there a technical involved? But apparently not. That the shove was scored as a personal, not a technical foul. And Goonington will hit one of two. Nearly halfway through the quarter. Out of bounds off Bueno. I know I've already mentioned subscribing to our YouTube channel. Don't forget, too, that we've got a Facebook account, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. And just make a visit of it. Visit all the sites and like, love, befriend, and all the good stuff. Out of bounds off Corolla. And we will thank you. And yeah, the focus is on YouTube, trying to generate the viewers, the subscribers. Hutchins to put it in play from the baseline. Out front to Johnson. Epps with it, brings it inside the arc. Bishop reaches in, says, I'll take that. Battle to get it back. Rolled to the mid part of the floor. You got contact. And you have got a collision, I think, knee with head. And that is going to be Bueno charged with a foul. And apparently the head of the knee is what created the most pain. It is Johnson. Slow getting up. But apparently okay. Sakano mopping up the perspiration. Ball will be brought in from the near sidelines. Bueno picking up her first foul. And Johnson apparently a little bummed up, reaching for the small of the back and coming out of the game. Haley Johnson back in. Hutchins slides between defenders, hits the bucket, draws the foul. And the Titans back to within single digits. Hutchins, a 72% free throw shooter, and her 14th start of the year today. Sent down the floor to Bishop. Created the opportunity, couldn't get it to fall. Hutchins with a loose ball. Over it goes to Gaddis. Out of the corner, Linyard. Jumper in, out, and then back in. Papin over to Bueno from outside of the paint. Bueno dropping in the two. Now that was Fatsa, by the way, not Bueno. Fatsa typically taking those down low shots. Says, hey, I can hit him from outside too. Bueno in and out. Back in for two. Stolen away by Bishop, over to Papin. Carollo in and out on the three. That'll go off of Hutchins on the other end of the floor. And the Jets who push that lead back out to 11. In play to Goonington. Just a little bit strong with the pass to Sicano. Titans with 6 in the first. 8 thus far here in the second. Hutchins missing from the elbow. Papin with the rebound. Over it goes to Carollo. Weaves into the paint to Sicano, and Sicano draws the foul. And it sure appears as though Sicano is in pain. She was a little gimpy earlier. But says she's not in so much pain she can't shoot free throws. So she will go to the line with 2:40 to play in the first half. I think it was Sicano that had a big day in one of the prior games. Yeah, on the 20th, 20 points. 9 rebounds. Couple of misses, but Papin with the rebound. Bueno hands it to Sicano to Goonington. Back over to Bueno. She'll shoot from near the stripe. Loose ball, Linyard able to retrieve it. Titans will keep possession. Hutchins playing with 3 personals in the game. Got it near the timeline with Bueno defending. Fires into the corner to Linyard. Shot just a little bit short. Gunningen blocks out and comes down with the board. Back it goes to Bueno. Gunningen into the corner to a wide open Corolla. She'll drop in the three. Jets by 14. That is Linyard with the drive, and she will have an easy two. Out of bounds off Hutchins. Fatsa coming back into the ball game for the Jets. Returning for the Titans is Fitch. And it is who coming out? Sakano coming out for the Jets. Carollo to put it in play, does to Papin. And Corolla says, hey, I'm feeling it. Shoots another three. Not there. Bueno with the board. Turns around, puts up the two, hits it. Jets again by 14. Got an offensive. Bueno absorbing the charge. That is the first on Linyard. Jets with the basketball, less than a minute to go in the half. Into the corner, Papin, back it goes to Bueno. Into the corner, Papin, three ball, not there, rebounded by Fitch. Nearly taken away by Papin, and she winds up on the scores table. I mean, literally on the scores table. And a reach by Favero. And Favero will pick up her first personal. Well, Jets are going to have a lead going into the locker room at halftime, and likely a double-digit lead. But I know Coach Carpenter does not want them to let off the accelerator. The offensive charge to Alford. Scratch the bucket, give the ball to the Jets, and they'll try to run out the half. And preferably with a bucket at the buzzer. Favero spins, trying to scoop it, swat it away. Fitch has got it, 3 seconds remains. 2, 1, shoots! And that'll do it for the first half of basketball. Impressive for the Jets. Leading it by 14. Heading into the locker room at halftime. Jason Carpenter, ladies basketball coach and South Georgia Tech AD, our guest at the half. He's coming up in just a moment.
To South Georgia Technical College, where we make it happen.
Whether your dream is to become a welder, a nurse, a restaurant owner, electrician, or aircraft mechanic, South Georgia Technical College can help you make it happen. SGTC has over 200 associate degree, diploma, and technical certificate of credit programs of study available. Visit our website at southgatech.edu for more information or to apply, or call 800-928-0283.
So what are you waiting for? Let's make it happen.
Well, it is time for halftime conversation with Jason Carpenter, the new head ladies basketball coach, new AD at South Georgia Tech. Our first opportunity to talk. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Robert. Thanks for having me.
I want to go back. I mean, since this is the first conversation, we got to get a little biography on Jason Carpenter. So let's go back in time. I mean, we won't go to the very start, but let's start with the basketball. I mean, what is it that originally drew you to basketball, your prep career, college career, and then got you into coaching?
Well, basketball as a kid was a passion of mine. It was something I loved, and I was fortunate enough to have some family members that were into coaching, which kind of drew me to the idea. So I knew pretty early that coaching is what I wanted to pursue. In some way, I wasn't necessarily sure of the level of where I wanted to be, whether that was high school or college, but I knew being in the gym. I'm from the Northeast, up in upstate New York, and it's much nicer to be in a 70-degree gym during the winter months than it is to be doing anything outside up there. So I knew that was the path I was eventually going to take, and I'm fortunate enough to have had success and opportunities to do that along the way.
Now, often, not always, but a coach is a former player. Did you also play the game? And if you did so, at what level?
I played at a junior college after high school. In upstate New York, a small junior college, Division III. I like to say I'm a better coach than I am a player, and I say that humbly because I don't know how good a coach I am necessarily. But it was a passion of mine. I coaching in being in the game in that capacity, I knew long term was going to be a much more serious route for me. So I played for 2 years, and then when I transferred out to go to the 4-year college, I walked into a situation where the head coach at that 4-year school was new. And so I approached him about, hey, can I join the staff as a student assistant at the college level? And luckily for me, he took me on and gave me that opportunity. So I've been coaching at the college level in some capacity since I was 19, 20 years old.
Oh, so you've been doing that for what, 5 or 6 years now? Or
yeah, well, this is my 20th year of coaching.
20. Wow. Okay. Well, hey man, you don't look like you've been in it 20 years, so that's a good sign. Now, well, then with a lot of coaches, it's a transition from player to coach, and sometimes that is difficult. But for you, it wasn't that way. I mean, you knew as a player that coaching was the direction you wanted to go.
Yes. Yep. Absolutely. Having someone in the family kind of gave me that, inside baseball, I guess, so to speak, look at it. And, I understood the challenges, but I also, I saw the fun and the passion that brings out of you. And I just knew that if, given the opportunity, that's, the career I would choose to pursue.
All right. So you are from the Northeast. You played in the Northeast, began coaching in the Northeast. So we got to know how you made your way to Georgia.
Well, my first stop out of there was actually down in Rome, Georgia, at Georgia Highlands. I had an opportunity to come down and be a part of Brandon Harrell's program on the women's side at Georgia Highlands, and that transition was the men's coach there was the coach I had played for in college in the Northeast. So he had come down and kind of started that whole athletics program, and he had hired Brandon, and so I came down and joined his staff at Georgia Highlands.
Well, it's kind of interesting and almost ironic because Brandon is also the coach that started the ladies basketball program at South Georgia Tech.
Yes, it is ironic. It is ironic, and again, it's an honor. Brandon's a very good friend. He's a great person, and a heck of a basketball coach. And it was a heck of an opportunity for me to get down here and learn from him. And it's an honor to be a part of a program now in this capacity that he started.
Okay, so we're almost to Americus. What got you from Rome, Georgia, in the northern part of the state down to Americus in the southern part?
Well, after that 1 year with Brandon, the men's coach that was at Georgia Highlands at the time, he accepted a position down at Gulf Coast State on the men's side. And at that time down at Gulf Coast, Rooney Scovel, who's just got inducted into the Women's Basketball Coaching Hall of Fame, she was down there, and it ended up being her last year. So when he went down, I took the opportunity. I was originally going to go help him, and I did, but I also was able to get an opportunity to sit on her bench and be a part of that program on the women's side as well. So I was doing both while I was down there for a little bit. So and then stuck around there for a few years. I actually bounced back to Georgia Highlands. They had a heck of a team, and you could see the writing on the wall that was going to be a pretty successful year. So I called Brandon back up, said, "Hey, can I come be a part of this?" So I went back up there, and we did have a great year. We actually took the team to the national championship game. Fortunately, lost. And then I went back down to Panama City and Gulf Coast. I was on the men's side before this opportunity arose. So I bounced around a little bit between Georgia and Panama City last few years.
So is this your first head coaching stint?
No, I was a head coach in New York prior to coming south for nine years at a junior college up there. Very successful. I think my record was 232-50 as a head coach.
Wow.
We had been to 4 Final Fours. I had a national championship game appearance. We lost, unfortunately, there. So I was looking to move up the ladder as far as junior college. There was a Division III up in the Northeast. That's kind of the model in the Northeast.
Is that a difficult transition, though? It seems as a head coach it would be difficult to, and I hate to say step down, because as you mentioned, it was an opportunity for you to eventually step back up. But is it difficult from the standpoint of, as head coach, you're basically in charge of everything? Everything you say goes. That's not true as an assistant.
That is, yes, it's an accurate assessment. I tried to approach it as bringing head coach experience and a mentality to being an assistant, understanding what it's like to be the guy who's calling the timeouts and who's making the decisions and being supportive of that. And I'm humble enough to understand that there's lots of ways to do things. And I wanted the opportunity to learn. I had been doing things a specific way, and we'd had some success, but I wanted to learn. I wanted to see what other people did, how they approached it. And I've taken quite a bit from Coach Harrell and from Coach Scoville, and I also worked with Coach Petrie, who replaced Coach Scoville on the women's side. And each of them, I think, helped me grow as a coach, and have made me see the game in slightly different ways and challenge my own thinking. So I saw it as an opportunity. Hopefully Brandon appreciated the help. He brought me back a second time, so I think he must have a little bit.
So you stepped from head coaching to assistant coaching, now back to head coaching. What made this the right time to get back to that head coaching spot?
South Georgia Tech, in my opinion, is one of the best jobs in the country. And I said that, prior to being in this seat, I think it's a place, obviously, where Coach Frey had a lot of success, and that's attributed to him. But I think it's also attributed to the culture here at the college. The support that we have, the community support that we have here, and the location matters. You're in Georgia. There's a good brand of basketball here, but we're close enough to continue to get into Florida and challenge the Panhandle Conference at times. And so for me, this was a no-brainer when this job opened up. I knew I had to at least take the opportunity to apply.
Did you know that when you took over the head coaching job that you were also going to become an AD?
It was in the job description. Yeah, I knew that. I had when I was a head coach in New York, I was an assistant to the AD. So I had done a lot of this stuff. I filed eligibility, and if I wasn't doing it, I was at least aware of the processes and how it was going. So that didn't necessarily intimidate me. Being the basketball coach is my passion. Certainly, but being the athletic director is something I can handle.
All right, let's bring it to 2023-24 as the head coach at South Georgia Tech, the Lady Jets. What's an acceptable year to you? 232-50 as a head coach, that is very impressive. So I'm assuming that you as a head coach don't like losses. But of course, who does? But on the other hand, it does seem like some programs are more accepting of such. You obviously not. So what's acceptable?
Well, I don't like losing very much at all, to be honest with you. I think we have to be fair about the situation and the circumstances here. I got the job in August, and so. We're taking players that didn't know they were going to be playing for me in my system, in my style. And, putting me on them, and so it's been a challenge. We're 8-6 right now, currently as we're moving, but certainly well in the hunt for a conference championship, and that is ultimately the goal: win the conference and take this team to the national tournament. As far as the program, yeah, we have very high expectations of where we want to take this. Fortunately, Coach Frey left me almost no space on the wall to hang banners out there. He did it so often. So, I knew I had big shoes to fill from a winning standpoint, but certainly my own personal expectations for myself would have been very high standards going forward, and especially given the opportunity here at South Georgia Tech.
Let me follow on the question about what is acceptable with, and to me it is, or at least can be, a very different question, and it is what is not acceptable as the first-year coach there at South Georgia Tech.
Yeah, well, about a week ago, I would have told you losing a conference game probably wouldn't have been acceptable since it hadn't been done in quite a while here. But we took a loss the other day to a very good East Georgia team, and so that's a tribute to how good they are this season in particular. But I think getting through this conference and being the champion in the end is ultimately going to be the goal. And anything less of that, in my opinion, would have been I don't want to use the word failure, but we would have come up short.
Well, let me say, too, East Georgia, not only a good team, that is one of the most difficult environments to play in. I mean, that is such an unusual, it's a gorgeous facility,
oh, yes.
But it really is a difficult venue.
It definitely is different. It's very, very open, which can mess with depth perception a lot of times, and it's naturally lit. So it's definitely a different environment, but I like going in challenging environments and playing, and I hopefully our players will get to a point where they like it as well. They didn't like it too much last weekend, but we've still got a lot of the conference ahead of us. We're only 2 games in at this point.
Coach, thanks so much for allowing us the opportunity to chat with you. And let me say, too, that I have, and I'm just not just saying this, I've been very impressed. A lot of these players I saw a year ago, you have really pulled a lot of the talent that I didn't see 12 months ago out of some of the ladies that are playing this year. I've been impressed with that. Good luck through the season, and thanks for being our guest.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. I'll talk to you again soon.
Important ball game for South Georgia Tech, and they played that way in the first half. 14-point advantage. The largest lead of the half is what you see here at the half, the lead of 14. No lead changes, no ties. That's because the Jets jumped out to a 11-zip lead early. And we were about 6 minutes or so into the ball game before the Titans picked up their first field goal. And there are your halftime stats. And the Jets leading in every category except the one you don't want to lead in, and that is turnovers. As we get second half action underway, and Jets in possession of the basketball. Well, we gave you some of the team numbers. Let's take a look at some of the individual stats from the first half. Looking at the visitors' first, top scorer for Central Georgia Tech was Linyard with 8. Top rebounders with 4, Hutchins and Barron. As Johnson puts it up short of the shot, tipped away by Papin. Carollo trying to save it, steps out. The assist leaders, Gaddis and Hutchins with 2 each. 1 block, one steal in the first half, Linyard. Most time on the floor, Hutchins with 18 minutes and 47 seconds, who, by the way, has the most serious foul trouble. She has 3. Carollo off on the 3 try. Rebounded by Alford. Meanwhile, top scorer for the Jets, Fatso with 9. 3 had the rebounding lead. And Carollo, Sacano, and Fatsa all with 4. A couple of assists each for Bueno and Papin. Bueno had a couple of steals, stayed on the floor longer than any other Jet. 18 minutes and 20 seconds. And nobody with foul problems for the Jets. As a matter of fact, nobody with 2. All foulers for the Jets. 1 apiece. Corona missed it, got it back, tries again, missed again. Loose ball, Sacano with it. Over to Goonin and to Papin. Tipped away by Hutchins into the hands of Johnson. Down the floor to Johnson, and there is a Bueno foul. So just about 90 seconds into the second half. First points potentially could come in half number 2 from the line. Points off turnovers, 9 for the Titans, 7 for the Jets. 1 bucket in bench scoring for Central Georgia Tech. And 9 for the Jets. Jets led at 18-7 after the first, and 12-10. They outscored the Titans in quarter number 2. And now have a 13-point lead. I'm looking at the stats on the stat sheet. They are not in cahoots with the scoreboard. Fatsa got it back, couldn't get it to fall. Linyard with the rebound. Stat sheet says it was 30-17 in the half. It was 30-16, and it's 30-17 now after 1 of 2 from the free throw line by Johnson. Over into the corner to Linyard, back it goes to Johnson. Alford with it at the elbow. Nice feed to Johnson, lays it in for an easy 2. Carollo whipping it to Papin. Back over to Sacano. Papin with it. Feeds over to Bueno. Fakes to Carollo. A hop, skip, and not quite 2. That'll go out of bounds off Johnson. Unless there was a foul. Fatsa was in between Alford and Johnson. Did she get fouled? Nope, it is simply going to be out of bounds off Johnson. In play to Papin. Over it goes to Sacano. Got a good look. You can get that kind of look every trip down the floor, you're going to win ball games. Hutchins over to Alford. Back it goes to Hutchins. Thinking about the 3 instead, puts it on the floor. Tipped by Sacano into the hands of Johnson. Shot clock at 3. Fed inside to Alford. And finally a whistle. Let's see who that's on. Fatsa was on the floor. So too was Linyard. They're going to call that on Fatsa. It came 29.5 seconds into the shot clock. Titans to put it in play from the baseline. Bueno says, hang on, ladies. Let me clean this up right here. It's a little slippery, or can be. 13-point Jet lead. Had 11 on the board before the Titans put a point on. Into Alford, tipped away by Bueno into the hands of Papin. Out of bounds off Linyard. And Fatsa's on the floor, but she's up and okay. And we're going to get the gym mop out again. I think they are having, or were having, HVAC issues. I know some were claiming it was a little warmer than normal. Feels pretty good right now. And it's not a particularly hot day. Plus, maybe my outlook is skewed a little bit by, you got an offensive, and Fatsa charged with a foul. But I did quite a bit of basketball. Actually, it wasn't basketball. It was volleyball this year in Bruton, Alabama. And they have now installed the air conditioning in the gymnasium, but then they were working on it. And in August and September, with no AC, it was a little bit warm. So, hey, compared to that, it's nice. Papin's got it. Back over to Papin, thought about the three. Goodington out front to Sicano. Goes over to Bueno. Papin sending it to Goodington. And Sicano shoves it to the hoop. Best defensive performance of the year for the Jets was when they held Georgia Highlands to 41. Goodington with a rebound. Sicano over to Papin, wide open for the three, short. Into the corner, Papin able to retrieve. Lost it, picked up by Johnson, given over to Hutchins. But at least at the moment, Central Georgia Tech is on a track. Of course, Linyard for the two to make this the Jets' best defensive performance. But as I mentioned, there's still a lot of game to go. That is thrown away nearly, but Papin off the ricochet from Alford, able to get it back. This time Fatsa throws it into the hands of Johnson. Well, those turnover numbers, which were respectable in the first half, growing in half number two. Both teams have turned the ball over a number of times here in the third. And Fatsa nearly threw it away, but Alford tips it out of bounds. Timeout on the floor. It's the media break. 4:28 to play in the third. Jets by 11. .428 left to play in the third, a 34-23 Jets advantage. Welcome to the hangar. JCAA women's basketball. On JockJive, hey, I've seen a number of new subscribers to our YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Keep those subscriptions coming. The more the merrier. Can't get enough. Nowhere close to maxing out. I don't know what the max would be. I hear there are some YouTubers with millions of subscribers. Okay, we got a long way to go before we get to a million. Contact in the paint. And Favero. I think that Bishop picking up the foul. First, no. It is Johnson who commits the foul. Bishop who puts it in play. Corolla with a miss on the three. Over to Walford, ahead of the pack, lays it up and in. And the Titans have cut it to a single-digit lead. Over to Favero. Bishop getting into Corona. Maria Diaz into the ball game. She's in the corner. Favero from the other corner. 3-ball good, Favero. 1 out of 10 from long range drops in, but that was that one. Favero at 11% three-point shooter, but big one there. Johnson with the offensive. Knocked down Favero. And Favero reaching for the rib cage and grimacing a bit. Kalani into the game. One starter on the floor currently, and that's the lady with the basketball, Corona. And you got to jump on the possession arrow. We'll send us to the other end of the floor. Men's basketball coming up. Central Georgia Tech, South Georgia Tech in men's action. Monday we are back here. Alford with a miss. Bishop with a rebound. But Monday it is women's basketball only, as the Lady Jets take on South Crescent Tech. Favero with a miss. Diaz trying to get the putback, fouled by Johnson. And that will be 3 on Johnson. Here comes Sakano back into the game. Diaz at the stripe looking for first points of the game. If stats are right, and I'm questioning, but if they are right, that is the first free throw made this season by Diaz. Don't hold me to that, though. She goes 1 of 2. Hutchins working in top side has been playing the third quarter with 3. Favero picking up the foul. That'll be her second. Non-shooting foul. And it'll be brought in from the baseline. Well, thank you very much, Dave L. You know, this is going to be very strange, Dave. I was literally just sitting here. Let me see how long ago you texted me. 1:58, that was 12 minutes ago. I was sitting here, and the thought just popped into my head. I wonder if Dave Elder up there in GCAA headquarters, where apparently it's a rainy day. Wonder why we haven't heard from him. And we've heard from you. If you are on the same wavelength as I, you have grave concerns, my friend. Sakana with another bucket. But good to hear from Dave Elder. See, they had built the GCAA headquarters there in Demarest so tall, I thought you might be above the clouds, above the rain. But I guess not. Johnson blocking foul on Sakano. Sakano into double digits, by the way, with 10 in the game as Johnson heads to the stripe. Got a feeling if there is multiple games going on in the GCAA that Dave is watching multiple games. Yeah, Dave says we're both crazy, and we probably would both agree that you gotta be. Right? Gotta travel on Bueno. Well, we can check out the GCAA, GCAA.com, and find out what is happening today. By the way, women's top 25 NCAA basketball. First game's just underway. So don't have any finals to report. As a matter of fact, the first game got underway about 10 minutes ago. Nice feed to Diaz. Kicks it over to Guninen. Back into the corner to Sakano. Wow. What a play by Sakano. That was just pretty. I think that may earn her a little Twitter time a little bit later on. I know it's not Twitter anymore. I'm still resisting. Drive to the glass and the drop in by Gaddis. Nice feed, lost by Sakano out of bounds. And why am I resisting the Twitter change? I don't know. But until you have to put x.com in the URL, you still got to put Twitter, right? Then I'm resisting. Barron going to the stripe after the foul. Jessica Kalani picking up a foul. That'll be her first of the game. She'll come out and Fatsa will come in. Barron, a 47% free throw shooter on the number 2 free throw shooting team in the conference. South Central Georgia Tech, of course, the number 1 team in the conference is South Georgia Tech at the stripe. Fatsa throws it away. Johnson, that's a long 2. Back over it goes to Ginyard. Gaddis putting up the 3 ball. She'll rattle it in. And all of a sudden, the Titans have tightened the game. A 6-point game with a quarter to go.
South Georgia Technical College, where we make it happen.
Whether your dream is to become a welder, a nurse, a restaurant owner, electrician, or aircraft mechanic, South Georgia Technical College can help you make it happen. SGTC has over 200 associate degree, diploma, and technical certificate of credit programs of study available. Visit our website at southgatech.edu for more information or to apply, or call 800-928-0283.
So what are you waiting for? Let's make it happen.
Ten minutes to play in this one. I don't know what it is about, our dancers in the stands. I mean, the people moving to the beat. As soon as we go on air and they have a chance to show their stuff, they're not doing it anymore. Well, she was getting with it a few minutes ago, but she'll send us into the fourth with intensity on the game. 10 minutes to play. And this is as close as the Titans have been since that 11-0 run to begin the ball game for the Jets. So the Jets win quarter number 1 and 2. Titans win 3. And the winner of 4 could be the winner of all 4. Sakano throwing it away. Ginyard's got it. And there's a foul. Ginyard going to the stripe.
Foul on number 11, Jared Lunadin, her third, team first.
Ginyard leading all Titans with 10. A 68% free throw shooter. Generally speaking, 6 points a game. Big ball game for both, but maybe even more so for the Jets. Trying to get that conference mark to 4-4. Titans trying to take 3 this year from the Jets. Winning by 16, by 2, and in this one down by 5. Papin feeding to Sakano. Sakano getting the underneath of the backboard, but Gooningen able to retrieve the loose ball off on the 3 try. Rebounded by Johnson. Down to Ginyard. And Bueno is going to pick up the foul. And Ginyard is going to have a chance to make it a 1-possession game with still almost 9 minutes to play. Longest win streak of the year. Titans put 5 together in a row. Meanwhile, the Jets, 3 straight was their longest win streak. Jets have not lost 3 in a row this season. They have lost 2 coming in. So they want to avoid that territory today. Fed over to Papin, a 1-possession game. Sakano hands it to Bueno. Papin back over to Bueno, shoots the 3, got it! Lead is doubled, it's to 6. Out front to Hutchins, who has played the entire second half with 3 fouls. Johnson with a miss. Timeout on the floor asked for by the Titans in an effort to keep possession of the basketball with 8:04 left to play. Just about all Wayne Jones County. Diving catch at shortstop. Gross. Towards the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Kraft's got it. Long throw over, and he got it. Titans right back into the ball game. 8:04 to play in a 45-39 game here at the hangar in Americus. First of a couple of games. Men to follow. Titans with possession. Bueno with a 3 to extend the lead to 6. Down it goes to Alford. Turns around, trying to bank it. Bueno all alone for the rebound. And she'll get knocked down by Alford.
Foul number 23,
And that is 4 on Alford. She'll come out of the game. Back in is the starter, Island Fitch. Well, I mentioned going to the website, thegcaa.com, find out what else is happening. So let me do just that. Convenient site for all kinds of information, including stats on these ladies and more. Today, softball, Georgia Military taking on Northwest Florida State. Down in Clearwater, Northwest Florida State has won that one 9-zip. We, by the way, have all of the Georgia Military College home conference games. And I think that starts maybe next month, our first game. Fitch with a miss, rebounded by Fatsa. And then Florida Southwestern beating Georgia Military 10-zip in the second game there in Clearwater. Baseball, Eastern Florida. 4-3 win over South Georgia. And those are the games that have been completed. Georgia Highlands with a 47-37 lead over Southern Crescent. Bueno blocks it out of bounds. And of course, Southern Crescent is the foe for the Lady Jets on Monday. Got A back, and Florida State College just underway in softball, no scoring. Tipped out to Sakano. Over to Goonington. Takes it to the glass, and she'll draw the foul. And Goonington with an opportunity to get that lead back out to 10 or more.
Foul on number 1, Tamia Gaddis, her first, team second.
Men's basketball today. Sand Hills Community College in Oxford, Gordon in Albany. And obviously, South Georgia Tech and Central Georgia Tech. Ladies basketball, Andrew College and East Georgia State. Also got Southern Crescent and Georgia Highlands in men's basketball. ABAC and Florida State College in Jacksonville in softball. LBW and Andrew College postponed. That was the softball game slated to begin today. Baseball, South Georgia and Eastern Florida. Second game in the doubleheader still to come in East Georgia and South Georgia in men's basketball. A lot of stuff today in the GCAA. Into the corner to Johnson. That is Gaddis knocking down the 3-ball from the top of the key. Fatsa with a bucket. A lot of time to go in this one. Fan into the corner to Linyard. Hutchins back to Linyard, bringing it baseline. Off the glass a little bit strong, Fatsa kicking it over to Sakano. Down the floor to Goonington, and she'll lay it in. Jets, who saw the lead trim to 3, back out in front by 11. Over it goes to Linyard. And there is a foul. Charged to Bueno. Corolo coming into the game. Bueno will go out. Titans will put it in play from the baseline. Both of these teams playing on Monday. Big outing for Central Georgia Tech on Monday. They'll take on East Georgia in Swainsboro. Johnson with a miss with the three. Gaddis with the rebound. Trying to get the putback, couldn't. She and Papin battle. And you got a jump ball with the possession arrow, keeping it on the Titan end of the floor. And of course, the Jets at home against Southern Crescent Tech on Monday. And we'll have that one for you too. Bishop in, Sakano out for the Jets. Nearly halfway through the quarter. Johnson along two, not quite long enough. Guninen with a rebound. Over to Bishop, puts up the jumper off the window. Fatsa's got it. Hutchins will commit the foul. And that will be 4 on Hutchins. So a couple of Titans with 4, Hutchins and Alford. And Fatsa will be at the line when we come back. Last media time out of the game at the 4:55 mark.
To South Georgia Technical College, where we make it happen.
Whether your dream is to become a welder, a nurse, a restaurant owner, electrician, or aircraft mechanic, South Georgia Technical College can help you make it happen. SGTC has over 200 associate degree, diploma, and technical certificate of credit programs of study available. Visit our website at southgatech.edu for more information or to apply, or call 800-928-0283.
So what are you waiting for? Let's make it happen.
Pictures to see on the website, you see in publications related to South Georgia Tech. That's where it originates. It's a great job of promoting the school. Half of the quarter to go. Jets with an 11-point lead, and Fatsa trying to make it 13. Only one conference loss this year for Central Georgia Tech, and it came to Albany Tech. Jets, meanwhile, conference losses have been to the top 2 teams in the conference, 2 to East Georgia, 2 to Central Georgia Tech. And trying to avenge one of those losses. Lead back to 13. Well, the Jets weathered one storm. I got a feeling it's not the only storm in the final 4:43. Gaddis off on the 3. Finally back over into the hands of Johnson, and she will urge it over the rim for 2. Into Guninen, back over to Papin. And Bishop tripped up by Gaddis. Jets trying to get to the 500 mark in the conference and over the 500 mark overall. Guniden and Papin coming out of the game. Bueno's back in. And Sakano is back in. Tipped out of bounds by Johnson. Bueno with it, top side, over to Sakano. Fatsa couldn't get it to drop, but Bishop's got it back. Nice feed to Sakano. Got the underneath of the rim. Foul is committed by Epps. And Sakano shoots.
Her first, team fifth.
By the way, the 3 o'clock men's game may not happen quite at 3. We'll be close, but still got 3:54 to go in this one. And a little warm-up period. No bucket. And a lane violation. So 1 of 2 for Sakano. Down to Alford playing with 4. Johnson. She'll go to the line shooting after the foul committed by Bishop.
Foul on number 3, Destiny Bishop, her first, team fourth.
Well, a slow January, and slow because of the work being done at Coastal Alabama South. Their gymnasium still not ready, so we had to cut, or they did, about 6-7 games off our schedule. And when you consider their double headers, about 14 less games in January, but that all changes with the addition of softball and baseball to the basketball next month. And I can pull out the Google Calendar and let you know what's happening next week. Right here on JockJive. Over it goes to Sakano. Bueno with the 2. Lead back to 12. Monday, Southern Crescent Tech and the Lady Jets. Also on Monday, Sneed State and Coastal Alabama North. No bucket, a walk by Bueno prior to the shot. And in the ACCC, that is a huge ball game in women's basketball. Sneed State 5-0, Coastal North 4-1. Big matchup on Monday in Alabama. Tuesday, we kick off softball coverage. Coastal Alabama North, Coastal Alabama South. More softball on Thursday. John A. Logan in Coastal North. Basketball Thursday night if the gym at Coastal South is ready. Coyotes in Bishop State. And let's see what this is on Saturday. Baseball on Saturday. Coastal Alabama South and Mississippi Gulf Coast. And that's what's coming up next week right here. And if you're like, man, I need reminders. Well, guess what? If you'll subscribe to our YouTube channel, you can get them. When the link's created, when the link goes active. Sakano loses into the paint. Hutchins has it. Back to Hutchins, over to Epps. And Linyard picking up her 15th point of the game. Nearly 3 times what she typically does. Carollo to put it in play, but she will do it after the Titan timeout. 2 minutes, 14 seconds left to play in the ball game. And the lead the Jets started out with, they've still got with 2 minutes to go. Carl Davis has asked for a copy of the game after the fact, so we got to give him a little camera time. Wouldn't be right without shining the spotlight on Carl. He and the crew near the end of their day's work. Bueno got it back, trying to bounce it off the window. Turnaround, no good. Into the hands of Corolla. Hutchins trying to take it away. Alford touches it before it goes out. And it'll be Jets basketball in a 9.3 possession game. Jets, the number 2 scoring team in the conference, averaging 64 a game. May or may not hit that. And you got a 10-second violation on the Jets. Titans averaging 63 per. And probably won't hit that. Unless they go on a big time tear, which they could. Hutchins into the corner and goes to Johnson. That'll go out of bounds off Papin. 3 seconds showing on the shot clock. Air ball on the try by Alford. Fatsa gives it to Gunington. Over to Corolla. Back to Gunington. 3 ball, no good for Corolla. Papin tipping it to herself, grabs it near midcourt. And let's see who committed the foul. If it is Alford, she's done. And it is Alford, and we might have some melancholy music coming our way. Alford scoring out of the game. I don't know if she particularly cares one way or the other for the music. Seems unaffected, but it has brought a solemn tone to the broadcast. Great job, by the way, David Finley, who handles the production work, video board, music, and more. One minute to play. And this, you may not think is particularly big, but it does extend it to a 4-possession game if she hits it. And she did. 3 possessions in a minute, maybe overcome. 4 in a minute, tough. Hutchinson with a miss. And Hutchinson falling, drops it in for 2. Thrown away by Gunington. And there is a foul on the Epps trip in.
Foul on number 24, Noah Papin, her first.
Epps going to the line. She is looking for her first points of the game. It is a 3-possession game, but if she makes both, you're looking at a 2-possession game. And And that still fits into the realm of possibilities if you're the Titans. 1 of 2. Ginyard able to track it down. And now you got a Carollo foul. And Barron at the strike, a 55% free throw shooter. So it will be no worse than a 2-possession game. Could stay at 3. One of 2 goes Barron. And there is a timeout on the floor. Jets trying to hang on for their 4th conference win.
University of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Decades of experience in distance learning. Empowering students of all ages. More than 90 degree and certificate programs to advance your career. UA Online. Flexible, affordable, legendary. Let your computer be your campus. Visit online.ua.edu.
32 seconds left to play, but it is a 2-possession ball game. And there is some life still left for the Titans. We saw the Jets jump out to an 11-0 lead to begin the ball game. And the Jets hoping never to relinquish the advantage, albeit a bit slimmer now. Titans would be content with grabbing their first lead at the buzzer. In play to Bueno. And now a foul on Johnson. So the break for the Jets is that the foul was committed 12 seconds into the possession versus seconds into the possession. So about 10 ticking off the clock as Bueno will extend it again to a 3-possession lead. Back to an 8-point advantage. And we have got a timeout on the floor. Titans. Antonio Harris says, hey, I want to talk to my lady. So Jason Carpenter says, Jets, let's do the same.
South Georgia Technical College, where we make it happen.
Whether your dream is to become a welder, a nurse, a restaurant owner, electrician, or aircraft mechanic, South Georgia Technical College can help you make it happen. SGTC has over 200 associate degree, diploma, and technical certificate of credit programs of study available. Visit our website at southgatech.edu for more information or to apply, or call 800-928-0283.
So what are you waiting for? Let's make it happen.
25 seconds left to play in this one. Got one more game to go. The man of Central Georgia Tech, the man of South Georgia Tech. After this one wraps up. Not impossible to overcome a 3-possession advantage in 25 seconds, but it doesn't happen often. If you are the Jets, you like where you're sitting at the moment. Off of the Jets and out of bounds. But at this point, Jets are even more concerned with the clock versus the score. Just wanting to see those 20-plus seconds tick away. There's a Gaddis three. Well, I mentioned earlier, improbable but not impossible. It's a two-possession game with 19 seconds to go. Big M bounds. If there's no steal, you'll get the immediate foul. Well, I thought we would get the immediate foul. Do get the steal. Down it goes to Johnson. And she'll double dribble. Jets ask for time. 8 seconds left. Eight seconds to play. 5-point lead. 2-possession game. In play to Sakano. And the immediate foul. And Linyard having Sakano take a trick to the stripe. Sakano extending that lead out to 7. And that'll do it for the ball game. A 63-56 final. Jets will get their 4th conference win. Central Georgia Tech will lose in the conference for only the 2nd time this year. And for the first time this year to the Jets. Big win for the Lady Jets. 4-4 in the conference. They are 11-9 overall. In our first game of 2 in the books. Men coming up next. They got 20 on the shot clock or on the game clock. So that'll be the warm-up period, and we'll get the men's basketball game underway then. Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. See ya in 20 for men's basketball here on JockJive. I'm Robert Williamson. So long, everybody.